Guess what? More stories. So I got something to tell you all. What I've got to tell you is that today I'm making an upgraded version of the original story of Yubel. Yes, of course, it's the origin. I'm recreating the original version, but it's gonna be updated because I made new Yubel games and then tell you the entire story. So you already heard the rest, right? You already heard of these. Yes. So if you see that's place 10, that's not actually place 10. That's actually Yubel 3. This is the prototype of Yubel 2. This is Yubel 2 True Edition, and but this was a True Edition Yubel 2. Now if you see that there's proto, no, it doesn't mean. I don't mean proto from the proto-agent from proto-agent. No, I mean as in the prototype. It's the prototype of Yubel 2. So this is Yubel 3. This is Yubel 4. This is Yubel 5. This is Yubel 6, the Space Warp. This is Yubel Dreams of Simile, which is scrapped. It's a scrapped game. Yubel Transfer is here, then transfer and transference. The transference is when you return to the Windows dimension. Which your heroes got actually accidentally like plopped in there. So you go back to the Windows dimension in Yubel 5, right? So Yubel Shadows of Corruption and Shadows of Corruption 2. Yubel Shadows of Corruption 2, the Dark Age, it actually got like censored. It got like censored. Wow. Look. Look, they censored age. What, they don't like dark stuff? That's the point of Yubel in the corruption era. That's the point of the corruption era. So the noobs and Bacon Turn actually, they just got corrupted. Of course, the corruption was all the way born from the betas of the first Yubel game. Because Soldier Noob was gonna be your trainer and was gonna train you to be a great soldier of Roblox and go to military school of Robloxia. Then after that, he would become the best Robloxian soldier. But instead, he became evil because of the corruption that was born ever since the ill-fated Yubel version 0.9.9, a very early version of Yubel. Yes, it's very very early, very early. That's not so early, and that's the version you know and love. Now, of course, I did make them public, so you can test it out. Yes, I made the game public so you can test it out. That's you battle. That's Yubel 2.0 and so much more Yubel games. Yubel Complete Edition is the only one with its own map. Now you can Yubel Complete Edition. It's not the only one with. It's not the only one with a map. Because that's not the only map that there is to see. That's not the only map. That's not the only map you have to see. Or you see. Because Yubel Tycoon is still not publicly released. It's a spin-off of Yubel. Because actually it's connected to Yubel, but it's connected as an alternative universe of Yubel. That's Yubel with our heroes they do not have the death weapons they have today. Nope. Instead they have to get money for their death weapons, which means there'd be a buying system, which means Jose makes the currency system, which is the system where you can get the death weapons, so you can upgrade, and I make the battle system. I make the system of battle where you upgrade from a measly basic sword to a horde of death weapons. Or a barrage of death weapons. You hear that? My computer is strong in CPU, but not strong here. It's getting pretty hot. I'm gonna disconnect the charger now. So, what do we see here? Yes, what we do see here, the only thing we see here are 4 Yubel games of original maps. The first Yubel Shadows of Corruption 2, the Dark Age. Of course, I know I put that thing there. Yubel and Yubel Complete Edition. Yubel New Generation and all the others except Shadows of Corruption 2 and Yubel Complete Edition, all of those do just have actually maps. So Yubel Complete Edition, it's actually Yubel third strike. Fight the corruption. Of course, it'd be better for the Japanese name, so it'd just be called Yubel Third Strike. Second, last Space Impact. The American name would just be Yubel Third Strike. Last Space Impact, and the Japanese name would be extremely similar to Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Fight for the Future. Yes. So what we know is in the other games, in Yubel Second Space Impact, the Bacons are now evil, and they want to turn Roblox into Bacon Blocks. It's a very familiar scheme to the noob scheme of taking over Roblox and transforming it into Nooblox, but it'd be even worse if I made it that the noobs just became odors and would turn into odd blocks, which means the illegal thing of Roblox, online dating, takes over Roblox. Now, if that actually happened, then I would fight them so they cannot take over Roblox if I was an admin. Well, this is not because I want to be admin. It's because I only make it with my imagination, and don't take it too seriously as a dream that I want to be an admin of Roblox. And it has like 2 versions. Well, I'm actually very dumb because those two versions do actually have starting places, just that they do not appear in my account at all. So that's weird. I thought that's weird, and the game wasn't there. I try again, it didn't appear, so I decided to make it. It couldn't. Then Yubel 2, it did not appear again. I noticed I just had to go to a create site and list it to my account. It needs to be listed on my account, so that means everyone can see it on my account. Now of course, thanks to Oddblocks, now I got a new idea for a Yubel game, where odors get extra corrupted because they're as evil as they are. They are already just as evil as they are. So they get extra corrupted since the evil corruption of Roblox tried to corrupt them so they can take over Roblox and turn into Adblox. It's just the brother of the secret god of Roblox, as I tell you, and the appears in Roblox. We're still in space, but still our heroes want to be back to Earth. So they put the futuristic city back to Earth, and they asked the secret god of Roblox to also make the base plate a block and make it flag, and so it's larger and very long. And there's a little cool thing where I make a flying street on U-Battle. I noticed it was a flying street back then, and U-Battle shows corruption too. I originally planned it to be a death plane. Originally planned it to be a death plane. Then the secret god of Roblox forces you to go there. So he forces you to do suicide. But I forgot that it was anchored. Thing was actually anchored, which means the thing's anchored. Man, which means if that thing is anchored, then that means well, of course, if the stuff we just now, of course, if we know it's anchored. No, of course. You listen. That's an interesting way to get the ivory sword, because now you have to find it. Because obviously because it's powerful. Then that means I just make it so the players find it themselves. Don't worry about that because you spawn with plenty of weapons. Even spawn with some weapons that are very powerful. After all, after all, Noob City, well, the police don't even do their job, and the only policeman working there doesn't do his job. He's very lazy. He has no sheep, so he's lazy. And then the sword noob kills him according to the lore. So Noob City, so Noob City is a place of illegal drugs, illegal chemicals, fights on the streets, full of death, and it has no law or order, which means they have no freedom. Which means their city is straight up a dystopian place where people with no weapons cannot survive at all. Sorry people, but if you're in the dystopian city and decide that it's safe, it's not even a chill place. No, there's always the city. The entire city is just a thing to do, where it's always genocide. The only genocide there is the sword noob, because the sword noob grabbed the sword from the police just to scare off the noobs if they were doing something illegal. No, it's so every noob is not chill at all. Except the ones with signs. Those are the only ones that are nice, because those ones moved out of Noob City. But they did move to the big city where it's nicer, where it's the only nice city where you can chill, because there's only test dummies. An entire army of noobs is there. So more stuff about Yubao Complete Edition. It is the Yubao Alpha will be coming soon. He'll be coming very, 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 very soon. But very soon. Yep, it'll be super soon, very soon. It will be many years. Okay, it'll be very soon. Well, of course, I will create Yubao Alpha. Thinking, but U Fighter will come up. Now I won't create Yubao Alpha, but instead U Fighter. U Fighter will come out after Yubao Complete Edition. It's connected to the series in a way because our heroes are fighting the Street Fighter way. Yeah, obvious why did I use U Fighter. Yeah, that's the why did I call this series Yubao? Because that's the only name I could come up with. And this story, the story of Yubao, this version is no longer a bundle. Well, almost. Because this is no longer a bundle because I only tell the fiction of the story. Which U Fighter is when our heroes start fighting the Street Fighter way. Which means they actually, that Street Fighter stuff to use to use extra moves. You need to do special commands to use them. In so I would make it the Street Fighter style. Yes, but how do I make those inputs? Yeah, yeah. But how am I supposed to make those inputs? Like, how am I supposed to make the inputs? How am I supposed to make the inputs? The inputs of you battle. Well, how am I supposed to do the inputs? It's very obvious. If I want to do the inputs correctly, then I need to use a controller. Yes, a game controller for my PC. Because I'm trash at fighting games when it comes to using the keyboard. Because to do a Hadouken, it's very hard. Down, then you press down and left at the same time, then left, and then you put the jab button. That's all. So every special move is harder with the keyboard. How do I fix it? How do I deal with that crap? How do I deal with it? Well, I make the controls with a gamepad, which means I make inputs hacking. I will make these controls more in the Smash Bros style, which means they just fight Street Fighter style, and it's like the so I'm like making like so I'm gonna so yeah. In Smash Bros, you only have to charge up the FS meter one time. Then if you want to do it again, you have to charge it into the same level you had. Well, it's gonna be different because it's actually gonna be more in the way of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, because the UI for the bar that charges up your special moves, it's actually gonna be like it's actually gonna be in the style of Alpha 3 because there are gonna be 3 levels each, making 7 levels. Just to do those special moves, nope, you do not have to press one of the keyboard keys, which means you do not press the mainline ones that are, you know. You know, are like some kind of the words No, you only press the numbers. So the first special move will obviously be the weakest. Okay, all of them will be the same strength, except some more OP and better to use. So if you want to use the Rainbow Periastron, then that input is very basic. You only you have to like make the 10 because so I make the combo. So to make the combo, you hold the one key and then you press the 0 key, which then you immediately release 1 and 0, which means hold 1, then press 0, and you get your 10th special. No, just kidding. No, you're kidding. The 10th special. Well, of course, you're gonna add 10 specials. To do the 10th one, you actually need to press Q. You need to press Q and done. Then there are bonus specials. Of course, there are always gonna be bonus specials. Okay, you're not gonna add. Yeah, of course, because you're not gonna like I would like actually need some people to hire it because I'm not that professional, you know. And also because Rainbow Periastron is not an item, then I don't have to worry about using Q and E. And the other and the bonus special, which makes it 12 specials, it's very powerful. You have to press E for it. The last one, you have to hold Q and then press E, and then immediately release all of those. Well, it doesn't actually matter for that input because you can just keep on holding Q. It's actually better to do it because because then you can power it up even more and time is stopped so nobody can interrupt your special attack. But this effect shortly is removed if you use it too much. Like, this effect is removed if you pass 20 seconds using the ability. If you manage to like pull off the ability like exactly 20 seconds and escape the attack, then congratulations, you cheated. You played yourself too. Because if you overcharge the ability like at least like 20 seconds, and you only can do the short range attack, and so, which means your opponent has to be very 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 close to you, and then you can do the special attack. That special attack actually requires the level 1 meter. It actually requires level 2 meter. And the others and the other ones are in Q, and the first one, well, of course, the first one, which means you have to press Q individually. Well, well that one is a Shoryuken part. So that's 12 specials in total since the input for the last special, which uses keyboard keys, you have to hold Q then press E. So the 10th special, I actually would make it 0 individually. Done. 0 0 0 0 0. So use the first special, you just press 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9. And okay, that's the other ones that are not 10. So there would be a total of 12 specials. So the first one will be the weakest, but the first one will be it's long range. It's just a spam rocket launcher because of course it would be the hold mechanic. If you hold it, you can keep on shooting, but you can only shoot up to, and the time limit is one. And I think and the time limit for using that, of course, it is at least six. It's at least an entire minute. It's like 60 seconds, and then you cannot use it anymore. The cooldown is 1 second, so you can use it again. If you just press it individually, then there's no cooldown, which means it's like a Hadouken in Smash Bros. Because there's a cooldown if you already throw one. Then when that Hadouken disappears, you can choose another one. Except now, except that actually would make it susceptible to like cheating, cheating, because well, of course, U Fighter doesn't exist because I haven't started working on it. Well, okay. Of course, it's all for the Yubel story. I'm gonna tell you more about it later. See you soon.